Hi, tomorrow's railway budget promises to be very interesting. A lot of people have told us in the past, and very with legitimate reasons, that there's really no reason for a railway budget. The turnover of the railway is smaller than that of some PSUs. But the fact is that for whatever reason, historical or whatever or otherwise, we are going to have a railway budget. So the question is, what are we going to expect tomorrow here? Now, fortunately for us, we've got some ideas to what we're going to expect. One, we're not going to see any kind of a hike in either passenger fares or railway freight, for the simple reason we saw that a few weeks ago. We even saw a rollback here. Now, that fare hike itself was supposed to get the railways about 10,000 crores extra in the full year. And, barring some minor changes here and there, that's really it as far as the hikes are concerned. Now, a lot of people, including, journalists such as myself, have argued that the railways need to hike passenger fares, and there's no doubt passenger fares are usually subsidized. The railways lost about 24,000 crore rupees on passenger fares last year. About 3 to 4,000 crore rupees out of which was on suburban transport, which is your trains in Bombay and things like that. Now the problem is that when you look at what the railways need, they need 14 lakh crores in the next 6 years. So when you look at 14 lakh crores in 6 years versus what can be got out of passenger fare hikes, it's obvious it's not going to meet what you need. So in a sense, the railways really need a new game. They need a new plan. And that's what's going to make tomorrow's railway budget so special. Because in a sense, we saw this budget in 2012. That's right, 2012. When the UPA was in power and Mamata Banerjee was a part of the UPA and Dinesh Trivedi was the railway minister, he came out with the railway budget which essentially said that 30 to 40%, Dinesh Trivedi looked at the Japan railway numbers and he found that 30 to 40% of revenues from the Japan railway came from non-traffic revenues, from non-passenger revenues, from non-passenger and non-fare revenues. So what was that revenue? That revenue was, for example, the New Delhi railway station being converted into a 4-story or a 3-story railway station, much like the Indira Gandhi airport. And you would have the train tracks on the ground floor. You would perhaps have a shopping mall on the first floor, a hotel on the second floor, and office areas, and lots of restaurants there. So what Dinesh Trivedi said was, why don't we convert the railways into a modern system like you have in Japan and some other countries. Now, unfortunately, within hours of Dinesh Trivedi presenting his railway budget, he was sacked. And Mamata Banerjee then got another railway minister, and they did away with this whole idea of having more public-private participation in the railways. Now, when the Prime Minister Narendra Modi this time was inaugurating the new railway line, he asked one simple question: why can't a railway station look like an airport? So I think what we're going to see tomorrow is a lot more PPP. We're going to see the railway ministry looking at modernizing at least 4 to 5 railway stations. We hope, since I live in Delhi, I hope that the Delhi railway station will be one of them. And it's interesting that the railway ministry has put forward a cabinet proposal asking for 100% FDI in certain areas. The Home Ministry is not entirely comfortable with it, but I would put my bets on having some amount of FDI coming in, being allowed in the railway budget tomorrow. So while, if you look at the specific numbers, what is called the operating ratio, that tells you how healthy the railways are. I think you will see a decline in that. But what you're going to see in the budget is a sort of a track. The Prime Minister, the railway minister under the guidance of the Prime Minister is going to tell us what the future of the railways will be. There'll be a lot more privatization and there'll be a lot more non-passenger and non-tariff revenues. I think that augurs well for the future. Thank you.